Hey guys, let's get more news from Dallas Cowboys, but first don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And leave your like. Dan Campbell is crazy. Dak Prescott reveals thoughts on Lions coach. After the dust settled, the referees tried to explain themselves, and the football world once again honed in on the events at AT&T Stadium. What's left is respect. Whether the Detroit Lions deserved to lose by confusing the officials or the Dallas Cowboys were lucky to escape with their 20-19 win is up to each individual and their smattering of biases, rooting interests, and sense of gridiron justice. The fact remains that Dallas won, has an easy path to an NFC East title, and could very well see Detroit again. With a win in Week 18 and over the 7th seed in the NFC, the Cowboys could host the Lions, should they beat the eventual 6th seed in the wildcard round. Both teams have acknowledged that possibility and remained civil after the game, despite the officiating theatrics that ended Saturday's game. Dallas quarterback Dak Prescott specifically spoke about the respect he has for Lions head coach Dan Campbell after the game. From the punt conversion that they got to one of the early 4th downs, I said, "This guy is crazy," Prescott said. "And respect with the craziness, talking about Coach Campbell, and I love it. I really do. I mean that's you playing to win the game and not lose a game, and that's what he did." It was no surprise that the Lions went for 2 in the final minute of regulation in an attempt to win the game. Sending it to overtime, in a way, is relying on fate, a correctly chosen coin toss, an opening drive touchdown, and the complications of a potential tie. Trying to win in regulation isn't traditional, but in an era of aggressive coaching, headlined by Campbell, everyone in the building expected Detroit to try and win the game. They did and, ultimately, failed, perhaps by no fault of their own. But Campbell was never going to attempt the extra point, even after a false start penalty knocked them behind the 5-yard line. He's a coach who invigorated a city and its fan base by playing aggressively as an underdog. The NFC North champions don't intend on leaving that identity behind because a playoff spot is secured. Credit that mindset, that's a hell of a team and I wouldn't be surprised if we see him again, Prescott said. Should they meet again, football fans will likely be blessed by some quality football. Detroit can run the ball with the best of them, but can they trust quarterback Jared Goff with a dynamic pass rush hunting him? The Cowboys boast a prolific passing offense, but can't quite get the ground game going, and head coach Mike McCarthy's late-game decisions are as questionable, if not more, than Campbell's. Dallas will visit the Washington Commanders on Sunday for a chance to clinch the number 2 seed in the NFC. Those Week 18 festivities could decide whether the Cowboys spend the divisional round preparing for the Lions or traveling to San Francisco, at which point things might just get crazy all over again. With strong closing argument, Cowboys CeeDee Lamb secures All-Pro spot. The Dallas Cowboys haven't had a receiver selected as a first-team All-Pro since Dez Bryant in 2014. But the latest member of the 88 club is about to change that. "It's a surreal moment for me," said Lamb after his spectacular New Year's Eve weekend. "We're looking forward to keeping it going." What is that? The Cowboys still have plenty to play for in Week 18 against the Washington Commanders as they try to secure both the NFC East title and number 2 seed in the NFC. But Lamb made his closing argument to be an All-Pro in front of a national audience Saturday evening against the Detroit Lions, and it's one that Perry Mason would have been proud of. Highlighted by a 92-yard touchdown reception from quarterback Dak Prescott, one of the most exciting plays of the NFL season, Lamb put together a monster performance in a 20-19 win over the Lions in Week 17. Lamb finished the night with 13 catches for 227 yards and a touchdown. With Michael Irvin, another all-time great number 88 in attendance, Lamb set new Cowboys single-season records for catches, 122, and receiving yards, 1,651. Lamb leads the NFL in catches, with 10 more than Tyreek Hill of the Miami Dolphins. He's second only to Hill in receiving yards. The race for the third and final All-Pro spot at receiver may come down to Week 18, with A.J. Brown of the Philadelphia Eagles, Puka Nacua of the Los Angeles Rams and Amon-Ra St. Brown of the Lions among those still in the race. But the first 2 spots have been secured. Hill is likely going to fall short of setting a new single-season receiving record, but with 1,717 receiving yards and 12 touchdowns, the future Hall of Famer is going to be a first-team All-Pro for the 5th time in his career. He may also win Offensive Player of the Year. Lamb has locked himself into one of the 3 spots as well. Lamb was a second-team All-Pro a year ago, but he's going to be a first-team pick in 2023. Unless he replicates his Week 17 performance against the Commanders Sunday afternoon, Lamb probably won't win the Offensive Player of the Year, but he's certain to finish in the top 5. With one first-team All-Pro selection, Lamb will have as many as both Bryant and Irvin finished their careers with, believe it or not. Bryant, as previously noted, was a first-team All-Pro in 2014. Irvin was a first-team All-Pro in 1991, before being a second-team pick in 1992 and 1993. Lamb still has a ways to go before equaling the 3 first-team All-Pro selections that Hall of Famer Drew Pearson, 1974, 1976, 1977, had, but there's no question he's proven to be a worthy addition to the 88 club. Lions' Dan Campbell makes admission about ill-fated trick play versus Cowboys. Detroit Lions coach Dan Campbell told reporters on Monday that his team did in fact try to dupe the Dallas Cowboys during their trick play in the game's final moments that was controversially called back. The Lions coach elected to go for a 2-point conversion and the win on Saturday with his team trailing 20-19 in the game's final seconds, and it appeared as if Detroit had taken the lead after Jared Goff completed a pass to offensive tackle Taylor Decker, number 68. However, officials wiped the play away and said Decker never reported as eligible, something Campbell, Goff and Decker all deny. Dallas held on to win the game, thanks in part to the call. Every party for Detroit maintained that Decker did report as eligible, and numerous TV angles appeared to capture Decker attempting to report when several offensive linemen approached the official. But Campbell said the officials told him they recognized defensive tackle Dan Skipper, number 70, reporting. "It's about eligibility," Campbell told reporters. "That's what it's about. And it has nothing to do with the ref. The ref knows. He knows. Because 68 reported. It's for the defense, so that they see 3 different people. And you're just hoping they happen to not hear that it's 70, who isn't eligible. That's all." If what Campbell says is true, the officiating crew is the party that was duped. Campbell sent several offensive linemen toward the referee so that it wouldn't be obvious who was eligible, but officials maintained that Decker never reported. And you fan, what do you think of the Dan Campbell situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.